Hey, what's up everybody, ForneverWorld here. Today to do a review of the latest Shippuden episode 236. And I know I haven't done one of these in a really long time, but recently one of my subs hit me up and said, hey man, you really should check out episode, I believe it was 234 of Shippuden. Yeah, it's filler, but it's a really good one. It's Konohamaru, he fights Tamari, he goes real hard. So I checked it out and I was like, wow, this is actually pretty good. It's and it quickly became one of my favorite Naruto fillers because I just really loved that episode. Showed some maturity for Konohamaru. And I was like, all right, maybe, I'll check them out. I checked out last week's. I wasn't too into it, but I checked out this week's and I actually really enjoyed it. It was character development for Shino, so I'm going to be doing this review for this episode, and maybe, I'll do some more in the future depending on how I like the episodes until, we get back to canon. But this episode starts off with basically Naruto. He's like laying on the boat daydreaming, and a fly comes on his nose, and he's trying to remember why this is, making him think of somebody, but he doesn't know who it is. And then we see Shino. He's in the village, and he's talking with some kids, and the kids are asking him, like, are you scared for war? And he looks back, and this episode is kind of like a flashback for the regular Naruto, except, it's not really a flashback. It's just like, we see them in their younger days. Squad 8, it's Hinata, Kiba, and Shino. And they had a mission back in the days, apparently. And in the mission, they had to capture this bandit. He was a former ninja, and he became a bandit, and they had to capture him, and they kind of failed that mission. And it was mainly because of, well, it seemed like it was because of Shino. He couldn't, stand up to him with taijutsu. His taijutsu really wasn't all that great, and he kind of was in the dumps because of it. He felt bad. He wasn't really, he felt like he wasn't living up to ninja status, and his pride was broken. But they learned, Kiba and Hinata from Kurenai, that the guy was actually jonin, and they were getting at the time. So you can't really blame any of them. They fought a really powerful opponent, but again, Shino felt really down, and they try to help him. And even Hinata trains with him a lot, actually, and this is one of the things that I really enjoyed because we don't really get a lot of character development a lot of times with certain characters, especially like a Shino, and we don't really get screen time with Hinata and Kiba all that much. So to see this episode, I really enjoyed it. They trained a lot, and Shino's confidence, I guess, went up a bit. They meet up against the bandit again, and Shino shows him what's up. He really, they go at it, and Shino ends up, they all end up defeating the bandit, and Kurenai shows up and was like, oh, so I guess I wasn't needed here. And there were some funny scenes in the episode as well. They're in the hot tub talking or whatever, and Shino, after a while, letting loose, all his bugs start coming into the water, and Kiba starts freaking ah! And I thought that was pretty hilarious. This episode is definitely worth a watch because, it's like you get to see these characters that you like, but you don't really see too much, and it kind of feels like character development, even though it's filler, but it still you feel like, oh, I get to see some training that they did, how they got to this particular point or whatever, and I thought that was pretty awesome. And it kind of leaves a little bit of hope that maybe, Shino's going to have a really big role someday soon, possibly in the fourth grade Ninja War. He's going to do something really, really important, and, possibly even sacrifice his life, who knows, because this episode really, it was really nice to see Shino get some training and a little more character development and why he is the way he is certain times and such. And, they made some jokes of how Naruto doesn't acknowledge him. And, he didn't help with Sasuke's retrieval. Like, oh, are you still bummed about that? Kiba asked him. And I thought, this episode was just a really nice little episode. Showed, the past, get to see the characters in, their old Naruto original forms. And, just a nice little blend of different things or whatever. But let me know if you checked out the episode, what you thought of it. Did you like seeing this flashback? Do you think it was a pretty awesome filler? And if you want me to keep on doing reviews of these, even if they're filler, let me know. That'll kind of inspire me a little bit more to keep going with them. And, just your overall thoughts of the episode. That's all I have for you guys today. I'm ForneverWorld. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Thumbs up for Shino because he never gets any attention, and to see him get some attention this episode was pretty awesome. But have an awesome day, people.